Today we will be modeling a really nice chair. It's actually this chair from ZaraHome by Vincent van Duysen. I'm not sure if he's German or something like that, but I guess that's how you read his name. This is the chair. There are the reference photos, and let's start. It's a really beautiful chair. So, as you can see right here, I have already set up the left side reference of my photo, of my reference, and right here I had created a box which has the dimensions from the chair that I got from the ZaraHome website. Here are the dimensions, and if I select this box, you can see I have applied these dimensions and then applied a lattice modifier to help me create the general model. So let's start. So right here I will go on the front viewport and I will start by creating these legs, of course. But how can I do this? Now, one way would be to create a plane, but actually because we have some curvature right here, I think that this will take extra time with no need to it. So I will instead use a line. This is like that because I have the render option on, so I will delete it and start again. Right here I will set one vertex right here on the middle of the curve and one up until maybe here. I think here is fine. Now take the vertex, sorry, and fillet it. Here is the fillet. I will go for something like that. And now you can of course enable the viewport render. Press Alt and X to make this transparent. I will go on the top view, I will apply an edit poly modifier, and I will delete all the extra thickness. As you can see, here is the pivot, but here is the actual geometry, so go right here on the hierarchy, affect pivot, center to object, and bring this forward. Right here. And here we have the edit poly, and now we need to match our vertices with the model. So do that, something like that. Scale this down to be on the same axis. All right. This I think it's going to be a really nice model because it has a lot of detail. So it might seem tricky or difficult, but I promise it's worth the effort. I will place one extra swift loop right here. If you can find this, you can open it from here, give it some time, right here, so I can create this socket where the leader goes in. And I think after that I'm just going to double click on this and down shift and drag it right here. Maybe I will deselect all the above and make this go like that. And we will create this curve by hand, no problem. Yeah, here we go. Don't worry if this doesn't look smooth, because we will use a modifier later to fix it. It goes somewhere around here, I think. Yeah, and I forgot to take care of this, so let me just fix my mistake. Yeah, maybe instead of this, all right. Here we go. Okay. And then what we might want to do is that we need to take this and move it a bit here, take a swift loop, and actually don't take a swift loop, take the cut tool and create this extra line so we can fix our topology right here. And then you can of course just go right here at this and take the target, tag this right here, and now if you just select this line and press Ctrl and backspace, you can remove it. Here we are. Now let's try and bring this forward. All right, and I will take now this part and I will shift drag it somewhat like this. Make sure this length is same with this, and then continue around here. Don't continue on this part, I will explain to you soon. And I will double click on this and I will chamfer it, but I only need two. I will try to make this socket the same with this, so give me a moment right here. All right, and now for this part you just need to select all of this, right, and this, and copy it as an object, not as element. Get the pivot to the center, mirror it, yep, and now take this and bring it to match this curve, almost. And now let's fix the rest of it. Let's just for now hide this so we can see better. And now we can also take these lines, bring them down like that. We'll do the same with this. And the same with all of the above to achieve something like something like that, pretty much. Of course, scale them down to be on the same place, and grab this, bring it around here, and now take this and just attach them together. Now we'll go to the lines and make sure to attach this part to this, not this to this. Oops. Here. Okay. Of course we need to fix a few more things here. It's not perfect yet, but it's close to its finish. I mean the leg, not the general chair. We just got started with the chair. Alright, I think here we are good, and I will grab these and scale them down and rotate them just a bit to make this inclined right here. And yeah, now we got basically two options. Now the first option would be to apply, let's say, a turbo smooth, for example, and after the turbo smooth we will go right here and remove the sockets, but I'm not sure this is the best option. So just in case, I will keep a copy behind this right here. I will hide it. I will go again on the front, and we will try to first remove the sockets right here. I think this needs to be a little bit corrected. All right, and I think I am ready to delete this, and I will apply a turbo smooth, and on the turbo smooth you can see how weird these sockets look. So how can we fix this? Now to fix this, there are a few things you can do. One is you can just take the cut tool and connect these and these, for example, and if you apply the turbo smooth now, you can see how it looks instead. It's still kinda weird, but better. But I think actually the best way here is to just take a slice plane. Here is the slice plane. We will rotate this 90 degrees, bring it around right here, and I will slice, and this will put an extra edge right here. I will do the same thing on the other part. But actually here it's better to just use a swift loop. And maybe one extra edge right here and one extra edge right there. Let's see the result. Turbo smooth, yeah, much better. I'm just worried that later when we will apply chamfer, this might create some issues, so let's check it real quick. As you can see right here, it also chamfers this part. We can solve this by changing the minimum angle. Maybe 5. Don't know. Okay. It's not that bad. Actually, I thought it would be worse. Okay, actually it's good. So, no problems here. Let's just continue. We will follow the same tactic on this part. Don't forget about it. One here, one here, one here. Try to make this part, this line, and this line have the same width. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just try to make it similar. All right. Yeah, and here I need to fix my own mistakes. All right. Also I would like to add some extra edges right here. This might help us later on the unwrapping. Let me just add a few more, maybe 9 or 10. 10 is alright. Let's go for 7 here. Yep. Some extra edges on this for the same reason. And one extra edge right here. Alright, here we go. And now we can apply a turbo smooth, but instead of the turbo smooth, we will apply a mesh smooth. And this is because if I press 7, right here you can see these stats, the total polygons. And if I get this to 2 to have more smoothness, let's say. And actually this is pretty good, I'm not sure. No, I will go for 1, but right here, as you can see on the turbo smooth at 1, here are the number of the polys we have, and without the turbo smooth we have 300, and with mesh smooth we have 400, and it has pretty much the same effect with just less polygons. And I will go on this and I will apply an edit poly on top of that. And right here we got a few extra edges, and we don't need all of them, so I will select them. I will select a few of them actually, not all of them. And hit Ctrl and backspace to remove them. But like I said, not all of them, just a few of them. All right. Get rid of what you don't need. Maybe delete every second edge. I think these are way too close to the end, so I will get rid of those as well. And yeah, I think we are good. Maybe also get rid of this or keep it. Let's keep it. Okay. And I will then go and apply a cell modifier on this. And I actually don't know the exact width of this, but if I go on the image files, I can take a general idea from this pic. And I guess you can say that this leg right here can fit this part how many times? Maybe let's say that this is as thick as this leather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, let's say 12, because we have also these parts right here. 13 and 2, 15. And the general dimensions actually are the general dimensions is this, I think. Yeah. So if we go to the calculator, it says 5 centimeters, but I don't think this is right. Or is it? Let's just make it 4.4 just to be sure. Okay. I will also keep this as a copy just in case. And yeah, I think now it's time to chamfer this. Let's go. So as you saw right here on this photo, we have a big chamfer on this part, and I think that all the other parts are much more let's call it hard, maybe. So what I will do is that I will select this, I will take the chamfer, go right here, and I will chamfer this a lot, maybe somewhere around now. This gets in my way, so let me just fix it, because if I move this like that, I have a problem. I will change to local, and I can just move this right here. All right. Double click, chamfer. I think here we are fine. 1.6 maybe. Let's go for 5 chamfers, something like that. Here I got an issue. All right, let's see how we can take care of this also. Here we are. $1.5. We got the same problem here, no problem. Select this and I will just select this line, bring it closer, do the same thing with the vertices. And now it's almost there. Here we go. Right. And we have this beautiful chamfer. And then we also need, of course, to chamfer this part, and this part, and this part, and this part right here. Also, don't forget this one. And let's chamfer it. Make it quad, like, not quad. Let's find the correct. This is the one. Don't overdo it with the extra edges. Make it kinda big, but not too much. Alright. And few more things. Now we got to chamfer the general thing. Let's go to clay so I can see better. I don't do this because we will use a symmetry modifier. Forgot to mention that before. And chamfer. Make it big, don't be afraid of it. Just make sure there are no artifacts. Up until here we are fine. Let's check just that we are fine everywhere. We could go a little bit further. 0.55 maybe. Let's check down here. We will fix this later, don't worry. I guess 0.5. Alright. And just hit yes. Now let's save it. And let's move on the next step. Now, before we mirror this to create the same geometry on the other side, we need to fix the topology right here. To do that, I will go and select an edge, slice plane, and we'll go on the top view. Here we go. Something like that. And I will turn on the snap right here, pressing the S, and I will snap this, or at least I will try to snap this right here, but looks like I can't for some reason, but that's okay, because what we will do is that I'm going to press slice, and then I will just double click on this, first actually let's just target these two together. Actually you can select the edge, right, and pull down control, select all the vertices, and you can go right here, double click on that, pull down control, press weld, and it will only weld these vertices, just like that. Let's just check that everything is alright. It seems like it is. Press yes. On the top viewport again, let's take another slice. Let's try to snap it here. We can here. And press slice, one more. One here. Vertex mode. Double click on that. That's the vertices. Press weld. We actually have to do this manually here. It's alright. But now we might be able to just weld them together normally. Let's see. No, we also have to do this right here. Now I get that this might be a bit boring, but the result is the final goal. We need to achieve good topology, having a great model, but opening it and looking at its topology and the topology being terrible isn't a win. A win is a great model with great topology. To create a nicely looking model with a topology that's at best just okay, nah. We need to make it good. And I think now we can actually weld them. And we were so close. Come on. I think now we can weld them. Let's see. Of course, we need to do the same thing here. do all of this manually. So let's just fix the basics here. All right, and click on that and on that. Let's weld them together. All right. Maybe we can try to relax this part a bit. Now this might mess with our chamfer, and that would be a problem if our geometry wasn't supposed to be a wood, but since it's just wood, you can do this, because wood is imperfect, so there's no problem with our geometry to be. Alright, and now I will take also cut tool, go all the way here, and I will keep this as this. And now I can go and just use a symmetry. Let me just check. Alright, where is the symmetry modifier? Here it is. Now let's just make it something like that. Make sure the threshold is the minimum, and then apply an edit poly on top of it. And just like that, our leg is actually ready, and it's too big now that I look at it. So on the top view, we'll grab this and bring it as close as possible. I think that's a lot better. Alright, let's save it. 03, and let's just move on the next part. Now that we are done with the leg, it's time for us to move on the next step, which is to create this wooden piece right here. That shouldn't be difficult because we know that this is supposed to land somewhere here, so I guess it's going to be easy. Oops, I accidentally hit it, so let's just save it and do it again. So here we are. Let's create this leg. Now I will go on the front. I know that this piece is supposed to be somewhere around here, maybe. At least that's what makes sense. Right here. Let's just keep it there. Now we'll position this right there. Here we go. And I will expand this, but on the opposite direction. Go further, we don't care about that. maybe we need to unhide the outline so we can see where we are. Now let's just go right here, and I will copy this right there as a copy. Then this into an editable poly. Bring it close, but not to intersect, just leave a small gap. This will help us create a shadow gap. Do the same thing on the other side. Here we go. And this is supposed to have a little bit of bending, so I will create some extra edges. Don't be afraid to add edges. Let's go for 30, for example. Alright, and I will apply a bend modifier, and I will try and find the right axis. But actually, instead of this, it would be just easier if you apply a 3x3 modifier right here, much quicker. Let's go on the left viewport to see. Maybe something like that. But I want this to be a little bit smaller. I think it's too much. Alright, on the top view, let's also make it smaller here. Alright, 3x3. Here we are. And then apply an edit poly, and then just chamfer it. Let's reduce this somewhat like that. Yeah, I like it. Make sure to apply the smooth on the chamfers only. And then I will take this, copy it, and bring it forward. Now let's see where this is supposed to be. I will go to my reference photos, and I don't have any reference photos right here, so let me just go and find one. So here's a good reference, and I think it is exactly on the same position. Maybe we need to do this a little bit higher, just like that, and we are done with this. Let's just open again the reference files and take a look on these parts. I think I made them too massive. They need to be smaller. So let me just fix this really quick. And I will fix this by going right here on the edit poly. Here we go. I think this is better. Let's copy it. Delete the old, of course. We don't need it. And I guess that these are the same size with this. At least it looks like it. So I will go on the front view. I will make this transparent. Still like this. And yeah, I will take this. We'll bring it about here, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, just above the socket. And I will rotate this. And I will also copy the chamfer and then delete it. And then I will also delete the FFT modifier because I want this part to be bending on the other direction. And by the other direction, I mean that I want this to bend like that. Maybe a bit more. Let's take a look here. We can go even further. Just to make it visible. Okay. And then I will just apply the chamfer on top of it. Front view. Maybe I can even rotate this a little bit more. Just to be parallel with this part. Alright. And copy it and bring it right above the sockets right here. Alright. Is this too much? Maybe we need to go right here and reduce it for this part. I think it's too much for the upper side. And here we are, chamfer, and the general skeleton of our chair is ready. Now we will do right on the next step this leather weaving, this one. So let's go and do that.